Welcome to the Made Up Memphis podcast, where we celebrate the grit, heart, and hope that make the 901 shine. Each week, we sit down with change makers, youth, and families to talk real mental health wins, money moves, and life skills breakthroughs. All the tools we use at Made Up Memphis to uplift, equip, and empower people to build stronger, more resilient lives. Whether you're 14 or 40, a parent, mentor, or ally, this is your spot for stories that heal and strategies that work. So grab a sweet tea, get comfy, and let's step into growth together. Because here at Main Up Memphis, you leave the baggage, keep the change.
Well, it says it's recording, so I guess we're live. All right, so welcome. If this is working, and we can try this testing it out, but this is Made Up Memphis Live. The Mood Dudes assemble. We are back together again, and we're just excited. And it's been a minute, so guys, it's been since I think July 8th. So give us an idea of what has life been like for you guys, and then we can kind of just jump in. Oh man,
Well,
Emmanuel's shaking his head. What?
wait, July 8th or June 8th?
July 8th was the last time we recorded.
Couldn't have been because July 8th I was in somebody's bed in pain.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe it was right. It was right before that. I think it might have been the week before, but
Yeah.
either way.
4th of July weekend I had excruciating back pain that put me in the ER. Back spasms. Apparently my spine was like curving and it's caused, what did he say? A pinch something, whatever.
Pinch nerve.
And I couldn't move. But shout out to chiropractic, whoever invented that, because that is amazing. Because I have since regained pretty much all my mobility, so I'm very happy about that. I've moved homes, so I'm looking for me and mine.
Yes.
I will have you guys. When I say you guys, I mean everyone but James over to celebrate our new home and the housewarming. And what's just happened since we last talked? A lot. Wife was in the hospital. I mean, a lot of stuff has happened, guys. But you know, resilient factors. Ooh, can we get
Okay.
into it? I feel like being strong is so overrated, guys. And I think there's a decent conversation off of the last two we've had around men's mental health. Because everybody wants us to be strong, and it has its place. But enough is enough, and
Mm-hmm.
being strong is overrated. And I would like to hear how that lands with you guys. Yes, even you, James. How if y'all haven't caught on yet, I know our repeat listeners do, but this is a running gag. James and I enjoy. So yeah,
It's not. He's bullying me. Don't listen to it.
that's why we can't even hear you. We just spent 30 minutes audio testing, and we can't even hear you.
Oh man.
It's the sound.
Glad you didn't.
So, Chloe, can you hear me?
What?
I can hear him, but yeah, it's definitely quieter than us.
Green.
Sour cream. But okay, James, give us a little update on how things have been going for you, and what's been life been like for you this last few weeks.
Life has been in a season of accountability for me. Been making it somehow by the grace of God, and I'm gonna keep on making it by the grace of God.
There you go. Yeah, I mean, it's feels like there's a lot of stuff going on in the outside world, and then you have your own internal world that's stuff going on. So, for me, my mom came into town. She flew in from Japan. She was here for 3 weeks, and I was the tour guide. We did so many activities. It was amazing. I did some cooking lessons. Like, she taught me how to cook some of her Japanese staples. So I will definitely share that with you guys. When the time comes, we'll have like a little potluck or something. Um, but yeah, I learned some Japanese food or Japanese cooking. We went to all kinds of places all over Memphis. So I really was like a tourist in my own city, which is I think people should do that more often, honestly, because I just explored different parts of the city that I wouldn't have normally, and so we went to the Civil Rights Museum. We did, we did all kinds of stuff. We didn't get to do the Graceland thing, but it was like, okay, no, that wasn't really our thing. But after the last episode, I was trying to, and this is my rant for the day, or I don't know. I've been thinking about this a lot lately, but in the last episode, I wanted to meet Yuki Kawamura, the Japanese Memphis Grizzlies player, well, now former Grizzlies player. So as of maybe a week or so ago, he signed with the Chicago Bulls for the summer league, and now he's basically doing really amazing things for the Bulls, and he's probably going to get signed on. So I'm just like a little part of me is like, man, I just became like a super fan of this guy. Like I bought a jersey of his on eBay, and I have a now outdated jersey of Kawamura with the Grizzlies. So, anyways, and I got a basketball card. I bought a basketball card, so I'm officially a super fan. Even though he's with the Bulls, he will always have a part in my heart. So, but I'm a little salty that the Grizzlies let him go. I'm just gonna be honest because I think they're gonna regret that. I'm not a big sports guy, I don't follow basketball very much, to be honest, but I have been interested in basketball now lately. So, yeah, Grizzlies. I get it, but you guys are probably gonna regret losing Mr. Kawamura. So, but yeah, so that was that. That's one thing I was kind of frustrated about. I also did get to see Josh Johnson in concert finally. Oh man, that was awesome. It was amazing. Like, he had just signed, or he had been doing the Daily Show for that week, and he was just it was just really cool. I mean, I was like, I feel like I met or I was seeing him like on the cusp of like really doing some awesome things. He's doing awesome things, and like I think he's going to be a Daily Show host, like a full-time host. I think so. Yeah, fingers crossed. He did really good. And his show was great. His opening acts were great. The venue was at Minglewood Hall was really cool, really great venue for, I think, for comedy. So any comedians coming to Memphis, Minglewood Hall, I think it's a great comedy venue, and I hope that more comedians come to Memphis because we're trying to make Memphis like a comedy hub. That's my goal, personal goal. Um, but yeah, that's been my last couple of weeks. It's been crazy. Been doing some I did a podcast interview today with some like a former friend. He asked me to be on his podcast, so it's just been busy, been doing a lot of things, exciting stuff. But yeah, I mean, we're here, we've assembled, and I'm hoping that we can do some live interaction with some of the fans. Let me see if that's even possible. But either way, like if you're watching this live, shoot us a message and see if we can. We'll maybe answer your question on air, on air. Um, so before we get into that, I guess we can do just like like a mental health check-in, because I think everyone is kind of stressed out, I think, in some ways. So I just want to give.
No, I was raising my hand because we didn't hear James Zero on this side of my screen. We didn't hear from James on his updates, or did I miss it?
I mean,
you didn't pay attention to me.
But it wasn't important.
Job.
That's right. So go ahead.
It was brief. It was just brief. Okay.
It wasn't important. Oh, that's right. A season of transition and accountability because of grace of God. Yada, 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 yada. Okay, that's right. My bad, James. Oh, okay.
Just in one ear, out the other for animal. Anytime James speaks, it just turns into the Charlie Brown sound. Wah, 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 wah. So let's talk. We got a lot of great feedback from our previous episodes. People seem to like our vibe and what we talk about, and have you shown your work to anyone, and have they said anything about it, or has anyone reached out to you guys and said, "Oh yeah, I really like the episode that you guys talked about XYZ," or anything like that?
Also,
Everyone, go ahead, James.
no, please.
Okay, everyone who I've spoken to, I absolutely loved. I had a couple people even say they want to join, but I'm going to choose my words carefully because I don't know if they're watching. They probably are. But yeah, that's been my experience so far. And we are overdue, so we got to give the people what they want in this episode, which is the demise of James. So let's make that happen.
Let's not do any demising today. I think we should save that for another episode.
No, the comeback is going to be great.
I like that. What
The
was said?
comeback. Oh
No, he's not a part of this. Anyway, I was at a party and some people that I know were actually really interested in the podcast, and they were wanting to know like what our plans were. And I was like, can't really discuss plans, but we will be talking about like different mental health stuff. Here's some of the topics that we have discussed, and they're looking forward to it. So
awesome. That's great to hear. Like I've had some family members say that they just liked the vibe. Like it's just something about like the chemistry or the vibe that we're putting out that people just like. So hey, if you guys are digging it, then we're gonna keep putting it out there, because I think people do need a little bit of like I think we're trying to put out good vibes, and we need more good vibes out there. So if it's resonating with you, thank you. Give us a thumbs up, and share our podcast, our message. We're trying to change the narrative around mental health and finances. I actually, speaking of finances, I would be curious to, maybe we can talk a little bit about some financial stuff, and just like maybe some lessons learned. We've talked about like what would you tell your 18-year-old self. Emmanuel's already shaking his head. Um, so yeah, like finances are it's like a split part of our mission. Is like one part of our mission is youth mental health issues, and then the other part of it is youth financial literacy. So with that, what are some financial topics that maybe have been weighing on you? I mean, Emmanuel, you moved. That's a big financial thing. There's just always something. But I mean, I think there's some nuggets to be shared with the community. So I don't know, what have you learned in your moving process, Emmanuel?
That's time to tell you everything.
Yeah, that was a mood.
Don't be so nice. Like even kindness or niceness needs boundaries, because somebody's always gonna need you. And that's fine. You have supply, but just steward it a little bit better. As far as this move, which I adopted this years ago, hire the professionals. Hire the professionals. I
Yes.
love the moving company that we had. I'm not gonna say who they are because you got to pay for promo. I'm sorry. But hire the professionals, because what you won't pay in money, you're gonna pay in time and energy. So just hire the professionals. Even if I wanted to move out of this stuff by myself, I could not, because
Mm.
recovering from back issues. So yeah, and it's worth it. Cheap is cheap can be detrimental, and I don't mean like a price tag. I mean like your outlook. And you're saving a few bucks, but you're causing so much undue stress and emotional turmoil on yourself because in the name of saving a buck. Please, money can come back. Money can increase. Time is finite. So, yeah, hire the professionals. That is for somebody. Somebody's watching this now. You need to let somebody do it. You don't have to do it all. Like, that is what the little green dollar is for, to exchange for somebody else to do it. And it's okay. It's okay for somebody else to do it. So, that's what I would recommend.
Any thoughts, James?
I can't relate. I've always moved myself. Uh,
Well, it is.
for the last 10 years, I've been
Oh, yeah.
my bills and probably the university's bills too. So I mean, it's up to me.
Mhm.
But I would say, when it comes to moving, really look at the amount that you're earning, what you have put away, and what you're willing to part with. Because, like Emmanuel said, money will come back. Also, if you are in a lower SES or if you're in a student situation like I was, you might want to consider how much of it you can move by yourself or if there's any favors that you can call in, right?
Mhm.
Um, or long-term planning, if you're getting like your first car or whatever, will my junk fit inside of here? It doesn't have to be all your
Mhm.
stuff. You might have to make a couple of trips, but
Mhm.
will my essentials fit in here if I need to pack them up and move them somewhere?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Long-term
mean,
planning is
sometimes.
essential.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes, especially if it's a short term, short notice kind of thing, people sometimes have to move within 30 days, 60 days, and things like that happen. I've heard of stories. Actually, somebody in my family, their landlord just decided they're going to sell the property, and then they gave them a 30, 60-day notice. Like they're just like, yeah, you're a long term, good paying tenant, but we're gonna sell the house, and so they got a evict. It wasn't an eviction notice, but I mean, it basically was.
I've heard
Um,
that before.
and yeah, so that's tough. Financially, that can really just throw a monkey wrench in your best laid plan. So, but that's why having an emergency fund is so important. Having that money, that's literally the moment that you need that is the rainy day that you have saved up for those types of expenses. So yeah, I would say have some rainy day money because it's gonna rain someday. Let's just be real. It's gonna rain, and some days it's gonna pour. And having that rainy day fund is going to protect you. It may not. I mean, you may not be able to cover all your expenses or all your costs, but you're not going to be relying on credit cards. You know, if you have the cash on hand, and that's just going to make your future self thank you. Your present self is going to thank you. So yeah, anyone who's listening and doesn't have an emergency fund, I would run and not walk towards the bank or to your bank and start a savings account or an automatic savings.
Also, on that note, if you don't have any money put away, a firm is your friend.
Mm,
You don't have to
okay.
pay them back. It's going to be more money than it would have been to begin with, but a firm is
Yeah.
your friend.
Well, and
It
actually,
doesn't.
there was an interesting. I've been seeing a study that the Gen Z has been using a firm a lot, and in some cases they're using it smartly. In other cases, they're not.
Yeah,
But
was that the article that was saying that they're basically using it to replace a credit card?
yeah, yeah,
Didn't it
yeah.
just who proverbial they just come out and say that apps like Affirm and Klarna and stuff can now count towards your credit score?
They need to.
I think so.
I read something like that.
Because yeah, it's in this weird middle space now where it doesn't really affect your credit, but like it can definitely affect your finances. Like you said, if the four monthly payments sounds really nice because it's like, oh, that's $50 for 4 weeks or whatever. But yeah, if you miss those payments, then you're you're kind of
Kind of.
screwed or potentially screwed. So it's a delicate dance to try to leverage your money, make it last, but then also it can it can be a temptation, like because when you're shopping nowadays, you have the Affirm button or the Klarna button. It's like, oh, this is just like $12, or $20 a payment for the next 4 payments.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, I can do $20 a month for the next 4 months or next 4 weeks, but I don't
Right.
know. It's tricky. It's
And
tricky.
that goes back to knowing your finances, though, is that you know how much money you have left over after you've paid all your bills if you're doing what you're supposed to do, right? You know if you can swing an extra $25, $40 per month, depending on what you've bought. But then you also have to keep track of what all have you bought and how many of those payments are we making at a time per month. Because if you have like three $25 things, that's a $75 payment. That's a bill.
Yeah.
It's a utility bill.
Yeah. And I think the convenience element of it is really, really kind of tricky for some people, because it's like the buy now. It's like layaway. You basically like, okay, like it's a virtual layaway. That's really what it is. And some people, layaway is really good. Like they like to do it that way. They buy the stuff, they hold it, and then but this is a little bit different. But yeah, all that to say is that we want to just be mindful of our purchases, especially when it's not technically credit, but it is credit. It's debt. It's a temporary debt, so you got to be careful with that. Because those things have a tendency of sneaking up on you. And I'm guilty of falling for some of those traps in the past too. So, all right. Well, that's our money minute. I mean, unless you guys had any other tidbits, because part of our mission here is we're talking to 11 to 25-year-olds, and they're. I mean, let's be real. Like, that demographic is gonna they're gonna be in an interesting space, with the job market evolving, AI, and all this other stuff. Like, finances, I think, are gonna be a really interesting thing for that demographic, 11 to 25. So, like, let's say if you're a brand new college grad, 24, 23, 22, whatever, however old you are, and you're in this current job market, I would be scared a little bit, So you gotta make sure your finances are in order to weather these times of uncertainty and, like job losses and all this other stuff. That goes back to the emergency fund. But yeah, I don't know. Any thoughts on, if you were a 22-year-old fresh college grad in your undergrad, what financial advice would you tell them? I think last time, James, you said stay at home as long as possible, right? And I think that's a real thing that people are doing, not necessarily by choice sometimes, but that's just the new normal for a lot of this, generation. So, yeah. Any thoughts? Any insights for a fresh college grad from you guys relating to money?
Yeah. Come here. Come to the front. Emergency fund, and I'm glad that we are using the correct language. If y'all see one of Joey's credentials is CFSW, Google it, or you can contact us. But no, there's a difference. One of the worst things I think that has happened to people who have not been financially educated or financially literate is not knowing is the language. So a lot of people call savings they call emergency fund savings, and it's not.
Yes.
It's an emergency fund. You should have at least 6 months, right? 6 months of your expenses, right? So it's
Yes.
your rent, car note, insurance, life insurance, all that good stuff, right?
Everything to keep yourself afloat for that period of time.
Correct. If
Yes.
whatever happened, okay? Savings, and I think I said this before, is what quote unquote the rich call investments. That's really what that is for. And then the third thing I think we need to do is neutralize the word debt, because when we understand how debt works, at least in this country, which again, capitalism, racism, it could be a good thing, right? But certain communities are taught that, how to leverage, debt, good debt, bad debt. But then other people are taught that debt is shrouded in another word we call convenience or credit, right?
Mm-hmm.
So even before the pay now or get now, pay later or layaway, when credit cards came on the scene, people were like using them irresponsibly because it was convenient. Oh, I don't have the money now, so I'll just charge it, right?
Right.
And then you get this bill, it's like, oh, I got to pay this back. And then there's this 8-letter word called interest, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think if we could master the system, allow it to work for us, which I ain't there yet, but I'm getting better at it. That'll really help us. And then the purpose of liquid versus, leveraging your credit Um, I will be a little transparent and say I liquid a lot of things that I could have just credit and then use credit for. Because I wanted to be done with it, I just paid it with no benefit to my credit score. Like maybe a point. Well, if I would have just went ahead and paid it out and maybe paid a little bit more to snatch the interest, I would have had more benefits for my credit. So I hope somebody's listening and, really taking it in because, we've been there so you don't have to. Let us be the traffic directors to say, hey, go this way. Don't go down this road. So there's that. Oh, especially if you're home buying. Ugh. Home buying has so much red tape.
Yes.
It is ridiculous. It's more red tape than Staples. Like I, I, I might have a little post-traumatic stress. I mean, acute stress from
Right.
because it hasn't been 30 days. But like, it's crazy. Like it's quite invasive. Let's start there. They want to know if you got a penny off the street. They want to know what street was it on, what time it was, what the temperature of the weather was when you pick up the penny, and where'd you put the penny, and why did you pick up the penny? Like, oh my God, like you can't buy a cheeseburger without somebody asking you questions. So prepare yourself, right?
Yes.
And then you need to have money saved, or I'm sorry, a fund separate from your emergency fund, because guess what? There's this thing called down payment, and if your sellers suck, you got to do the closing costs too. And then we're not even talking about moving and then all the unexpected stuff. Come on, censorship. With moving. So like you really have to like, thank you, James. You really, it's more than just, oh, get a realtor, find a house you like and move it. No. It's so much. It's so much more. So that's that.
It's like it should be essentially you should look at buying a house as like a year-long process, just in case, because it can definitely stretch out that long. But I think the one thing that I do like to talk to people about is the rent versus buy conversation. And I know, like, any homeowner, like a lot of renters, they look at their rent and they're like, okay, I'm paying $1,700 a month for a 1-2 bedroom apartment, but like a mortgage would cost me $1,400 a month, or even similar. It'll be $1,700, let's say, and people see that as like a binary thing. They're like, oh well, I'm throwing money away, quote unquote, by renting versus, oh, I'm actually making money by buying. But for one, the making money by buying process takes a long time, a lot longer than people realize. So the first few payments, and this gets into the amortization thing and all this other stuff. But for anyone who is looking to buy a house, like you might have a $1,700 mortgage payment, but only 300 or 400 of that is actually going towards the actual debt. And that's for years. Yes, that's for years until you finally, it'll kind of start to I don't know. But yeah, it's, and then you have the homeowner's expenses, like, because usually as soon as you buy in, or as soon as you buy and you walk in the house, the keys are yours. Suddenly it's like, oh, I didn't notice that crack was there, or, this door is a little shaky, like, so next thing you know, like, you spend, all this money at Home Depot, and, so it's definitely a lot more expensive than people realize when it comes to renting versus buying. And I think there are some people that jump into it a little too quickly and not anticipate all the expenses associated with home ownership. So I just caution that it's not a zero sum. It's not a black and white thing where it's like, okay, apples to apples, like, okay, $1,700 towards rent versus $1,700 towards mortgage is just not the same. But I don't know. Any thoughts, James? I know. Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I heard experts say that rent is all you will pay. Mortgage is the least you will pay. And it's so accurate. Because they don't tell you about homeowners insurance, gap insurance. Because what's that third thing? Something else you got.
PMI.
Yeah, that. So it's because you'll look, especially on Instagram, these realtors will put up, oh, this such and such down, and this could be yours for such and such a month. No, there's so much more. Oh, HOAs.
Oh
God.
yes.
Like, I hate those.
Yes. Yeah.
I hate them
Definitely.
with a passion. And
Yes.
if you're renting, it doesn't mean. So the argument that I was told, like, if you're renting, that's fine. It's the most you're going to pay. Just make sure that you are also investing. Because on the other side of the coin, if you're buying, which is great, buying your home, but then if something happens, you don't have access to any liquid. So let me sell my home. But what if you're not in the seller's market or nobody wants to buy your home? You're
Yeah.
up the creek without a paddle. So there's benefits to both. There's cons to both. But to Joey's point, it's not as binary or dichotomous as people have tried to make it. It's just whatever works best for you.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's really just, it's a long-term investment. It's not a short-term thing. Like you literally, like most people, I think on average, like 3 to 5 years before you might potentially make money off of real estate. Not to say that there aren't people who make it faster, because some houses, some areas, they appreciate more than others. But yeah, it's just something you got to do your homework on. And like I said, if you're looking at buying a house, start the process a year out, because you're going to have to get a lot of documents in order. You're going to have to do a lot of due diligence, and I think you have to get actually fully pre-approved for your loan before you actually start looking. That's just me, because I think a lot of people, they get that initial pre-approval that says, "Oh, you can get a $300,000 house." And it's like, okay, yes, mathematically, the lender will let you get a $300,000 house, but you do not have to buy $300,000 house. You know what I mean? So that's where, like, your eyeballs are sometimes too big for your stomach when it comes to buying a home, and then you realize you get the keys and you're like, oh, this is actually not as cheap as I thought it was going to be. So,
Yeah.
um, yeah, I don't know. Just something that I wanted to talk about, especially for that age range, because I know some people in their early 20s, they're like, I gotta buy a house, like that's like their
Overrated.
mission in life. Yes, overrated. And okay, go ahead, James. What you got?
So I do come from a household where, if you're renting, you're basically throwing your money away, right?
Okay.
Also, what I would say about buying a house is know what you want the house for, right?
Mm.
So I have a little dog. You're going to hear him every so often during this podcast. It would be great if he had a yard, right? Was looking
Yeah.
for a house not too long ago, and there's all these different barriers to entry, like you guys have been talking about. But I would not be getting a house right now if it was not for him. He needs to get the energy out, right? You got to know what you actually want the house for. So if you are a family person, right? Like you're a mom, you're a dad, you have kids that you need to take care of, right? You want that long term potential that a house brings, go ahead and get the house. If you're going to use that property to maybe put like a small B&B in the back, and maybe you live out of that and you rent out the main house, and this is going to be an investment for you or a way for you to make some money, then go ahead and do that. But have a plan for this house and know what you want with it. Don't just do it to check a box and be like, I'm living the American dream.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta have an American nightmare.
Nice. Yeah. Nice.
American dream. Lies and deception.
Just suck
So,
forever.
Right.
That's it.
Get a big student loan debt, and then struggle. Yeah, I don't know what the dream is anymore, to be honest. But
nobody.
that's a whole nother podcast right there.
It's somebody else's dream. It's not our dream.
Right. Yeah.
Somebody who's making,
Well, and I think
making money off of you. They're living the American dream. You are not living the American dream. I think more people need to understand that.
well said. Well said. But yeah, there are a lot of things, and I think this is where most people, when I talk to, who are maybe in their second part of their life or the third part of their life, like when they're older and wiser, and they look back on their life, because the people that I talk to are, man, I wish I saved more money. I wish like they're people in their 60s and 70s, and oh buddy, here we go.
So if you guys didn't know, two of our clinicians are pet owners. I'm the only one who does not have a pet yet, and every now and then they like to make an appearance on unscripted on our podcast. But shout out to the Chihuahuas and the Corgis of the world. Hopefully, a Golden Doodle will be joining our podcast soon. That's what my wife and I want. But hey, also don't get a pet if you can't afford it. Pets are not like pets that we grew up with, like in the 90s and stuff. I don't understand why we can't write off pets. Like the vet, because I grew up with dogs. I grew up with a poodle, or poodles, as a matter of fact. So, like, they get like arthritis and stuff. You know, take to the vet. Dog food, doggy daycare, if where you're going does not accommodate dogs. It's more than just, oh, I want a dog. Like, no, baby, that's a bill. Get pet insurance too.
It's also a lifetime of that animal responsibility. You have that animal's care. You are signing up to be a caregiver for that animal for all of their life. So a lot of people, they will gladly pay that money, and they love, like the pets are their family, and that's how we are. But like, yeah, I think a lot of people jump into things without truly taking those financial considerations or financial concerns into consideration. So you bring up a good point that, okay, pets are lovely. There are, our soul animals, but they cost money. They cost real money, and anyone who's had to go to the vet for an emergency surgery or things like that will know that it can be devastating financially. So, and then you mentioned pet insurance. That is definitely something that can be helpful for some people. And yeah, you just gotta, you have to budget for it because it's gonna happen. James, you had something?
Learn what you can do at home. Like, you might not need to have an emergency stomach surgery. You might just need 1 part hydrogen peroxide to 8 parts water.
There you go. Speaking of the corgi, but yeah, this is live, right? Well, oh yeah, I should mention this is a live broadcast. So I mean, yeah, there are going to be some hiccups. We had some initial technical glitches when we first were testing all this stuff out. But yeah, one thing I did want to, before I forget, and I do tend to forget things. But we are doing at Main Up Memphis, we're doing a fundraiser, and I wanted to go ahead and just
Let's you plug in the fundraiser.
yeah, I think it's time. But I just wanted to
That's not fair. I didn't tell us you were doing that because you have a presentation.
I'm very
how you roll.
I'm very competitive. And when they said there was a contest for this, I was like, all right, I got this. You guys could have done this. But yeah, ultimately you can pull up your QR code if you want. But yeah, so basically it's a little contest that we're doing within Main Up Memphis, and you can basically buy these slice the price cards, and it's like $20. It gets you a buy one get one coupon for Domino's, and then $10 of that goes to Main Up Memphis for our nonprofit. So if you're feeling froggy, you can, I guess if you're watching this live, I don't know how you would do this, but yeah, this is a QR code. If you guys are interested, we do, it is a competition, a little friendly competition, but yeah, if you're interested, you can hit us up and our different, our perspective socials. If you want to buy from us, then we get credit for it, and then we also, the money goes to Main Up Memphis. So it's a good cause.
If you're watching this on my live, don't buy from Joey because he really ambushed us. Buy from me. If you're watching this on any other platform, I don't care who you buy from. But if you're watching this on my Facebook Live,
all right, yes,
loyalty.
Fair enough. Okay, I respect the competition aspect of that, and I'm not gonna say anyone who's watching Emmanuel's feed. Hi, Emmanuel's feed. Nice to meet you. I'm Joey, by the way. And yeah, I mean, if you want to buy from me, that's fine. I would very much appreciate that. But if you wanted to buy with Emmanuel, I can understand that. I can understand.
See,
But
James, I thought you were the sneaky one. But now I see.
all right. So with that being said, I will stop. Well, I'll stop sharing. But I did also want to highlight something else that is happening at Main at Memphis, which is in the fall of 2025. So we're going to be opening up the doors to our very first location at 622 Minor Road in Memphis, Tennessee. So we're basically turning the old Haven space into our future home. So we're going to have like an actual place to have events, and we're going to have all kinds of cool stuff. So that's where some of this money is going to go towards. And yeah, so it's all going to a very specific cause within Made Up Memphis. So yeah, I just wanted to pitch that. Anyone who is watching live,
Now, if
buy
you are watching
buy
this
from me.
because I have a lot of rich friends, yeah, go ahead and donate to this.
Yeah.
Donate to this. You do this is a 501c3 tax deductible. Go ahead and make that gift, make the donation. Go on the website, or you can DM me, text me, and I can send the link to contribute. Don't worry about that pizza. That's Joey stuff. But if you want to contribute to this amazing organization, you should, because one, I'm a part of it, and two, it's a great vision. So do that. Thank you.
All right. Yeah, that's our little. Hey, I'm sneaky sometimes.
I thought there was one op in this group, but there's two. That's a meme, by the way. There's two.
Is it you?
Well,
Joy, James, I'm not gonna let you and this Wendy's head console you got worry me today, okay?
Wendy's head console. Okay, that's going in the show notes somehow. And you got any people watching your stream right now, Emmanuel?
It's rude streaming. Call out lurkers.
I would like a 10-piece nugget with honey mustard, a large fry, and a lemonade.
Got it. Go get it.
I was placing my order.
Okay, go get it.
Okay, it's a few people on here.
You should find out who's watching, call them out, and be like, "I want you to."
It's bad etiquette.
Is it?
Yeah, it's bad streaming etiquette to call your lurkers.
Okay, fair enough. I didn't know that. I just thought it'd be fun to be like, "Hey, I see you watching my stream. Like, why don't you jump on the chat and we can or ask us a question, like ask us something that you want to know."
Send us questions. You can invite in people to participate, but you don't call out your lurkers like, "Hey, we see you. You better participate in the stream."
Fair enough. I guess that does.
I see you in a whole new light, and I'm really concerned.
Oh, concerned. That's
no, don't worry about
like that.
It's just your camera. It's just your.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
Joey changed cameras.
Concerned because this has shown me that Joey will snipe you with a smile. Like he will. You see that? He will do it with a smile. And those are the ones that. Yeah, I do with a James all day. But the Joeys of the world, you got to watch them. You got to watch them.
You have underestimated my sneakiness.
Let's talk about paranoia. Personality disorders.
Don't even try it.
Because now he's coming after both of us, Joey. It can't be both of us.
That's true.
You mad that the villain role has now been split into two? And
I mean, it was never mine to begin with, but
you were definitely the antagonist.
Never mine.
Okay. So now I'm in the villain category.
Right. Yeah, you have.
Okay.
And you like the villain.
This is a manipulation strategy, isn't it, Joey? It's a manipulation strategy.
Yeah, he's like trying to triangulate us out of the triangle or something. I don't know.
Hey, first of all,
the only person making these personal attacks is you. It's always been you.
Okay, if you have been watching,
You're the attacker role, and then you try to get everybody to believe that you're the victim.
Ooh.
This is exactly what triangulation is. And every time you go to talk, I'm going to talk over you about triangulation again because I'm not going to let you manipulate me.
But
I'm not going to let you manipulate Joey either.
Oh man.
What you got to say here, Manuel? Come
Now
on.
we're just all sniping each other now. This is crazy.
okay,
Come on with your lives. Let's go.
there's something in cinema, and we're all movie buffs here, called a plot twist. You know, and sometimes you can have a person in this category based on the experiences that you had with them, but then they suddenly display a new behavior, and they become not only a villain in the story, but the villain.
Yeah.
So you're the victim here
And then
too.
the other villain
That's what I'm hearing. You're just
becomes
continuing to
upset.
find.
They're no longer the villain, and they're just a villain. The whole time, you're just out here trying to, get to the end of the story. So, when this happens in your life, it's okay. Just keep being the protagonist.
Clinicians in the chat, just understand that y'all know what triangulation is, and y'all just saw him continue to the victim, and he's really the attacker.
It's like three Doctor, or was it Professor X's? Like we're all like we're all like going at each other like, I see what you're doing. Oh, I see what you're doing, and I'm doing something too. And like, yeah, it's the Spider-Man meme. We're all pointing at each other, like calling each other out for like, oh, I know what you're doing. But it's all in fun.
Yeah, fourth wall like right now. No, it's really cool.
Okay.
All right. Well, and the mask is off. Now you've found out that I'm actually the supervillain of this story, and there's the plot twist. And actually, speaking of cinema, I did want to talk to you guys a little bit about just some it's a project that I've been working on. I wanted to kind of like pick you guys' brain as movie lovers. I think I showed you, or I sent you guys my little GPT thing that I created, right? Like my little movie recommendation engine. Well, I've kind of turned it into something else. It's tweaked a little bit now. It's called blockflix.us. That's where it's like being hosted right now. But yeah, it's like a movie recommendation engine, but there's a neurocinematic element to it, which I just learned about neurocinematics recently, but it's essentially the psychology of cinema. So, as someone who is crazy about movies and who's crazy about psychology, when I heard about neurocinematics, I was definitely intrigued, and so yeah, I've been down this rabbit hole of like the psychology of movies, analyzing movies from a more psychoanalytical perspective, and really like picking apart movies like to a more granular level from a psychological perspective. So, with that being said, I'm curious is there any movies that are really resonating with you recently that kind of tell a really good story, or a really good reflection of mental health, or emotions, or relationships, anything like that that's been resonating with you guys lately? It can be TV too.
I'll be real with you. I haven't seen anything in years. The last movie that I watched was Everything Everywhere All at Once, and that one's self-explanatory. Go watch it.
Nice. Yes, absolutely. I'm glad you said that one because that's a good one. That's a great one, actually.
It's a great one. Yes, love that movie. Oh, you made me agree with James. For
Again,
me,
attacker.
so when I used your GPT, I was intrigued, to say the least. I like the analysis that it gave back. So apparently, my movie genre is called psycho spiritual. Is what I like,
Ooh.
and it fits me to a T. Love that for me. Because when I gave it my favorite movies like Frankie and Alice, Gothica, not just because Halle Berry are in them, um, the Matrix trilogy, and then some others. Doctor Sleep. That's like it may be my favorite movie. It's this theme of you know psychology
Mhm.
and spirituality, which is, what I do. For those who do not know, I am a pastor, ordained minister for 12 years. Go, yeah, hallelujah, praise the Lord.
Nice.
So that intersection for me is kind of like my address, or one of my addresses. So that was really neat to add language to. But to answer your question about something that has been resonating with me, there's this show on Stars, been very popular, called Power. This has been out for years. But I've been doing a rewatch on it because the protagonist of the show, I don't know if I can call him the protagonist. I would say the main character. The main character of the show is juggling like 50 million things. And if y'all know me, one of my main phrases is I'm doing 50 million things. And it's a hyperbolic analogy that is still true because I'm literally doing 50 million things at any point in time. So I think what drew me to that show in this current space that I'm in is seeing another man, BIPOC man, handle 50 million things. Not that I align with the 50 million things he's doing, like infidelity and selling drugs and all this other stuff, murder, none of that. But he's like kind of in constant transition and like balancing the scales between his old life and his new life. There's a lot of reflection in the show and all these parallels. So I just like I enjoy the writing. It's always going to be the writing for me. Like I love action. I love, whoever may be starring in the movie, but it's always going to come down to the pen. And a lot of these shows, the storytelling and the plot points are really dynamic and rich, and you can really glean from it and use it in your own reflection. So yeah, I might watch a little bit tonight. Oh, no, another movie just came out on streaming. Uh, what's the Final Destination? So I'm gonna watch that
Oh, okay.
because stupid. And then I'm going to watch the new Wakanda series because Black Panther is also one of my favorite movies. That's one of the reasons your GPT said I like spiritualism. Um, so they just came out with a new series. I will most likely binge that this weekend. So there's that.
Nice. Yeah, I love that. And I think what you mentioned earlier, you said you're doing a rewatch, and this is something that I've been doing honestly recently. Is my wife and I will have like we have a digital movie collection, and we're also building our if you want to call it analog, but like the DVDs and Blu-rays, we're kind of starting to build up a physical medium collection again, and yeah, like we just like to watch movies that we've seen before, but then like each time you watch it, especially if it's been like 5, 10, 20 years, like you're literally a different person watching the same movie. So it's like your lens has shifted or sometimes changed it completely. So like a movie that was like your favorite when you were a kid and you watched again and you're like, wow, there's a lot going on in this that I didn't pick up on when I was a kid. Because you're looking at it from a kid lens or a young adult lens. And then whenever you're watching a movie again as an adult, it's like a completely different experience sometimes. So I've been really enjoying like going back and doing rewatches and, really digging apart some of the nuances of some of the movies that and sometimes looking at them from a critical eye, because there's some movies that don't age well, like just genuinely don't age well.
Yeah.
And there's some that are just, they stand the test of time. So, um, yeah, so we've been watching Severance lately, season 2.
Ooh,
And, yeah, it's a mind bender for sure. I love it. Just already, obviously it's season 2, but yeah, I didn't get caught up until recently, so we're like halfway through Severance season 2. And yeah, I like head scratchers. I like things that make you think, and it's almost like a puzzle where you're like, okay, now this person is this and then this person is this. So yeah, I love those kinds of like mental mysteries and things like that. But yeah, so I'm
think of
watching so
Oop,
uh,
sorry, but that made me think of the concept of neural nostalgia.
yeah,
Have y'all heard of that? It's like
yeah, I'm gonna
you,
talk let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, it's the concept that people embrace familiarity because it's comforting. So
Mhm.
like you have to watch the same show every night. You have to watch your comfort movie. Like that's kind of where that language came from. Comfort movie, comfort show, whatever. Because when you were introduced to this, it brought happiness to you. So now when you want that feeling, you go to what's attached to it. So when you watch this show 12 years ago, you're really happy. So now when I want to feel that, or I've integrated it into my, routine, I watch this and they call it neuro nostalgia. Have y'all heard of that concept or anything similar? Google
I
it.
haven't heard of it, but now that you put a word to it, like I get it. Like I know exactly what you're saying. And I think there's a kind of a push for that, or like a resurgence in nostalgia, especially like I don't know, people in our generation, my generation, elder millennials. I think, at least for me, I'm personally going into very much a nostalgic mindset where I'm just like, oh man, you remember the days when we had like, and Josh Johnson has been really helpful in like remembering some of these really fun memories of like, do y'all remember when we used to have to pay for text messages? Like used to have like
Yeah,
a 200 message like limit, and then
yeah,
then it's like you're paying, and people are like, what do you mean pay for text messages? But no, like you had to pay for text messages,
yeah.
and that was and then like I remember unlimited texting came out, and everyone was like, oh my god, I can text whoever I want, and it was just yeah. So and now it's like you don't even think about texting as being limited anymore.
Right, right. They're calling people after 9 because the minutes are free after 9.
Yes.
And I even and I'm not an elder millennial. I'm what I would call a prime millennial, no shade. But like I remember James, we're the same age. Oh, that was you that said get out. My bad. I'm so used from the villain energy coming from James. It's so different coming from you, Joy. But I remember like
Still playing like a dog.
waiting for the internet. Like the internet wasn't so accessible. Like it was like an event. Like phone has to be off. You have to listen to this. Like the dial up, hence the name dial up. That was a thing. I remember the introduction of like chat rooms, and now we have like dating and other apps on our phone. Like it's just it's in your hand. So it's such an interesting concept, to see the things. And I think this is why people are obsessed with the millennial generation because we experienced it all.
Yes.
We really did.
We were the sandwich generation.
Yeah, I've heard some of us. And my favorite term is the bridge generation because like we really do bridge it. Like we weren't born into technology, but we weren't all the way born or like so far from it or removed from it. So
Yeah.
yeah, really interesting.
hmm And things are changing so quickly too. I think that's where a lot of people are like, just they're just behind the curve, and the curve is so it's like that exponential growth curve is so extreme that people are like, wait, we're doing this now. We're signing. Like, have you guys heard of like AI artists are being signed by major record labels?
Foolishness and AI. And I'm not with
No, yeah, like that's the thing now. Like this generation is going to have to deal with AI artists. Like that's just the
that.
new thing.
There's no such thing. There's no such
No,
thing.
it is a thing. Like they're basically almost like sentient AI.
I get what you're saying. Is that they are labeling these AI as such, but there's no such
Mm.
thing as an AI artist
Well,
because
there is
art
none.
is a direct reflection of the person's experience and their concept of that experience. Especially when we dig down to the expression of that experience, AI can't do that. It can just string stuff together. It
Yeah.
can cobble things together. It can create a mosaic out of things that already exist. But you can't ask an AI what loss is like and have it give you something that is deep and meaningful. It might be something that resonates with somebody because it's
Mm.
taking things that already resonate from somebody that were meaningful when
Mhm.
the original author wrote it, but it's not going to give you anything new or novel or innovative. And then we're going to see a bottleneck effect. Everybody's going to be bored, and that's really a great way to just cut the arts out of school funding, which they're already trying to do anyway. So
Yeah.
James,
Well, I think there's going to be a resurgence in interest, and there already is a little bit of like analog stuff. Like records, like LPs are coming back in style. Like actually in Memphis, I saw in a news article recently that that the Memphis record pressing company, I forget what they're called, but they were just awarded like a $2.5 million upgrade award or something like that. So they're expanding record pressings. So I mean, fact that like in 2025 people are buying records more and more, I think that says something that people are like, like the digital perfect audio is great for a little, it's great, but like for anyone that's listened to LPs and vinyl, there's something very different about it that's just, it's hard to describe. But I think there's going to be a resurgence and interest in like the old school way of doing things, and in response to the backlash of like too much AI slop, too much AI stuff. So I think there might be a more of a resurgence of like actual like live concerts or live performances, things like that. So I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, the AI artists, it's here. I mean, we're gonna have to deal with it, but
I don't subscribe.
no, yeah, I don't subscribe, but I actually did listen to. There was some trending like kind of like a rock band that was all AI generated, and it sounded like it was manufactured by like it was like Creedence Clearwater Revival meets Leonard Skinner meets like some like modern rock band, and it didn't sound horrible, but it was definitely formulaic. So I get what James, what you're saying is that like it's not art. It's definitely not art. But like for someone who literally doesn't know that that's an AI artist or that's AI generated, they might not realize. And yeah,
I got a
so
message for them. I got a
okay,
message for those people specifically. Do better.
do better. All right, well, I'm gonna try that myself when I get off. I'm gonna do better. So when you say better, what does better mean?
Better means actually care about the media that you're ingesting. This has been something that we've been telling kids, at least since I've been in the world, is pay attention to the media that you're consuming. And this goes beyond just the lyrics, but who's the label? Who's the artist? What kind of stuff are they getting into? Is this somebody that you would want to be associated with if you got the chance to meet them? If this is an AI, right? Who's in control of this AI? What's their game? What's their motive? And are they just creating things to keep you occupied? Or is the content that they're coming up with using this tool meaningful in some way? And if it's meaningful, what meaning are you getting out of it? Because why are you not doing better if you're getting meaning out of AI slop?
Mm. Okay. I mean, yeah, I mean, those are great questions, and something that I think we're gonna have to be talking about and thinking about, in the next few decades. Essentially, is like what is, oh, what I mean, AI is not going anywhere. I mean, if we get into, so go ahead.
Go ahead, Joe.
Oh, I was saying if we get into like artificial super intelligence or AGI and all this other stuff, like we don't even know what that's going to look like. But I hear what James is saying. Like we need to be more discerning with the content that we consume. But what I was saying is that like for someone who doesn't know any better, they're probably going to say, "Oh, that sounds actually decent," and then you're going to have to explain, oh, that's actually not a real human being, and all this, it's just gonna get crazy. It already is. But I just saw that in the news, and I was just like, wow, an AI artist was signed to a record label. That's all right.
And it's all for money. And because you don't have to insure an AI, you don't have to provide benefits for AI. And I want to be very clear. I don't think you guys are doing this either. I'm not demonizing AI. I feel like it has its place. Like as an assistant.
James is.
I am, yes.
Okay, of course. But like again, I say this all the time. We want to play with artificial intelligence, and we haven't mastered organic intelligence. My concern is for Gen Beta, because just like Gen Z was born with social media, Gen Beta is now born with AI accessible to them. So I think it'll be up to us, millennials, ironically, to help navigate them through responsible AI usage. And I just think, to me, it's just being an assistant, like similar to the program Copilot, not endorsing them or whatever. But like, that's it. It's the generative stuff that concerns me. That's when James, are the people coming to get you? Is it tough? Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's when I start getting concerned, is with the generative stuff.
Yeah. Well, I mean, these are the things that we're talking about. Yeah, so I'd be curious to hear some comments from the audience. If you're watching live, what are your thoughts? And if you're watching after the fact, shoot us your thoughts. This is going to be on the multiple platforms, but we're eventually going to have like a YouTube channel, and yeah, we're just going to put it out there. But wow, it's already been an hour and 5 minutes, gentlemen. Like we time flies when you're doing mood duding stuff. But when the villains come together, yeah, that's what's funny, James, is what if the irony of all ironies was that Emmanuel is actually the supervillain and he's trying to like
I've been
project
saying that.
like he's
Of course you say the hero is
okay.
What is that?
But
I'm just saying it would be interesting.
Like you come for Joey, you've been coming for me for a while now. I just think that it can't be everybody, Emmanuel. Out of 3 people, 2 of us have not been going out of our way to offend you, and one of us has been going out of their way to come after the other 2. So it can't be everybody.
On the next episode, I would love for you guys to tell us who you think the villain is, objectively. Please comment wherever platform you're watching or listening to this podcast. Who do you think is the villain or villain?
Well, and just to clarify, I was upgraded to villain status. I made villain status for promoting a nonprofit fundraiser. Like what?
Right. You see how he's trying to spin that, audience?
Evil.
Wow. I literally am trying to promote a fundraiser.
Also, I would like to point out too that back when we first started as the Moon Dudes, Emmanuel named Joey as a hero, said he was the new Captain America. He named me as a hero, said I was Doctor Strange, but he didn't name himself as a hero.
Still,
that was a very interesting.
That is very yes.
And
he's left
the villain.
Mm-hmm. He doesn't want to admit.
He called us the Ops today. He's the villain.
That's why he didn't want to say his hero, because he doesn't identify with any heroes. So who are you?
But if you were truly paying attention,
that is a villain line. That's so cute. Now I'm going to destroy you all.
But those who get paid to listen should know that I have mentioned the hero that I most identify with.
Crazy. Neither one of us know who that is. And you are gaslighting us.
So both of us forgot.
You run the last 2 episodes through AI and asked you to identify the superheroes that were identified during the podcast. Oh my God, this paper bag is about to send me up a room.
But no, don't blame the.
That's misdirected anger.
Both of y'all get paid to listen, and both of y'all missed what I said. Now,
so you're just gaslighting us right now. I feel like you're just gaslighting us because both of us remember. How did 2 people not remember?
Because both of are villains.
All right, then
you already said we're not villains.
Refresh our horrible memories and just who is their hero?
Play along with his gaslighting, Joe.
I just want to since I
just want to hear his lie, but you don't have to play along with him.
Okay. All right.
Okay, come on.
Okay, well,
lie to us.
Tell us for the second or third time who is your hero.
Have too much sauce to lie. Don't be insulted now.
What kind of soft?
And this will be the second time. And I don't want to play into your self-deprecation and the old woe is me
Is it soy
and tell you
sauce?
who the villain or who the hero is. I want you to go and research it. But I'm gonna go ahead and tell you
Research. I don't even know who the hero is. You just say that you have a hero, and then you like research it. Okay.
The person I said I'm most aligned with in Marvel is Black Panther. The Black Panther. Because not only is he a hero, he's a king. Exactly.
Okay. All right. Okay. I kind of I don't know. I don't remember you specifically saying Black Panther,
He definitely.
but
Run it through AI.
okay. All right. Well, we'll run the tapes. But yes. Okay. So we're clear now. Black Panther is.
You know, we have transcripts for this already.
That's what I'm saying. Just run the transcript through AI, or Control F, whatever you want to do. And when I'm right, you owe me lunch.
Ooh, speaking of lunch,
I'll make you lunch.
we're gonna try to do some live broadcasts when we're out and about. Maybe. So we're gonna try to find some restaurants that might be willing to host us, and
Ooh.
yeah. So we're gonna try to do some cool events.
We could have a moody mental health night at your restaurant. Wouldn't that be beautiful promo for your restaurant? I'm looking at you, Overton Square.
All out. Okay. Well,
Just
we'll
saying.
put that in the show notes for calling them out.
When the villain, the news outlet, like where they're gonna be. Like I'm gonna be over here at 3 p.m. because I really want the heroes to show up because they're bored and they need something to do.
I heard half of that. Something about bored and show up. But like, hey, restaurant owners, just comp our meal and give us a mic and we'll take it from there. Like, yes, we will talk about mental health in your restaurant and attract those who want to have that conversation in a safe space. Just comp our meal. Thank you.
Joey and I will defend y'all.
I'm curious to see who's going to be coming out to support Emmanuel, like his squad. Coming out in person. I think it would be fun. I honestly do think like if we had people and we had interactions from live guests, that would be really cool. So yeah, if you're we'll do some outreach. I think Jasmine has already started that process. She's got like a whole template thing that she's going to send out to different restaurants. So yeah, we might be able to do something like that. So looking forward to it. But man, time is ticking away. I know we James and I both have dogs that probably need some tending to. But I mean, this has been once again it's scratching my soul in a good way. You know how you get like a really good scratch that just feels really satisfying? That's what it's like talking to you guys. It's kind of a weird analogy, so I apologize as soon as I said that. But anyways, yeah. But I think this is probably a good time to maybe say fond adieus to the audience, to the listeners, future and current listeners. So current listeners, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I know that like there's so much content out there these days. So if you actually sat and watched, even some of this, I appreciate it. And then anyone who's watching or listening to the podcast, we appreciate it, because like I said, there's so much content out there. If you watch even like a few seconds of us, then I'm happy. But all right, guys. We got any last parting thoughts, James? Anything from anyone? Anything? Any points you want to hit on and reiterate from this episode?
Recognize the signs of triangulation because it will save you a lot of headaches in your life. Not just like what Emmanuel is doing on the podcast, but literally go and Google triangulation as far as the attacker role, the victim role, and the defender role, because it's never stable and it's always changing. And the sooner that you can catch that going on, the sooner you can actually do something about it and stop participating in that cycle, because it just drags conflicts out longer than they have to. Talking about that for real, not about like joking with a manual.
Gotcha.
So you don't take that first.
Yeah, no, that's a good segue, honestly.
Yeah, it's literally abuse. Don't be abused.
And we're all don't be abused. Oh goodness, that's a good line right there for the podcast. Don't be abused. What about you, Emmanuel? You got anything? Any nuggets or anything that you want to drive home?
Yeah. Your money is a reflection of your mental health. It can be a reflection of your mental health. As a matter of fact, some mental health diagnoses ask about financial habits, and it can be a symptom of like a lot of things. Well, several diagnoses actually. And even in the faith realm, there's scripture that says, "Where your heart is, there will your treasure." Yeah, 12 years, guys. Where your treasure is, there will your heart also be. So basically, that means it doesn't mean you only spend money on things that you like or that you have love for or whatever. It means I can look at your spending pattern and be able to deduce what you find important. So evaluate yourself and what you find important and see how that aligns with your spending. And if something needs to change it. Reach out. We have resources. We can help you with that. I do a lot of that work with our younger Gen Z kids. Budgeting is the word we use. So yeah, and master it now because it's a fundamental component of life, at least in America. So the sooner you have mastery over it, the less time it will be a master.
Ooh, yeah, I like that. That's a good one. And I mean, you really, yeah. I'm glad you brought that point home because there is that link between finances and mental health. Sometimes they are directly correlated. Other times they're like indirectly correlated. But I mean, ultimately, if you're struggling with your finances, it's gonna affect your mental health. So that's just one more reason to, like you said, master your finances and instead of letting it be the master of you. So yeah, I mean that's all I really I don't really have anything profound to say. I just wanted to say thank you for for you guys for showing up and being here in this space and just trying to spread some good vibes. I would say please be kind to each other and
James.
give somebody a hug and just we talked about positive male affection. So let's try to, like, guys, let's try to tell your buddies good night. Tell your buddies good night. But yeah, with that being said,
James is doing good night.
you kind of just did actually. But anyways, so I
Appreciate that.
oh, yeah. We're cooking with gas now. We're cooking with gas. But yeah, so I'm a villain. So that's a new thing. I guess that's my takeaway for the evening is that I'm not just a villain. I am apparently the villain. So good to know. But yeah, I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna Lex Luthor this, and just go for it. Just be the best supervillain that I can be. So thank you, Emmanuel, for being the origin story for my villain arc. So thank you. I appreciate that.
I wonder if there's a redemption arc anywhere in there.
Oh man. So I go from
Only if
good
he
to
allows
bad and
himself to
then
be
back to
manipulated.
good. Okay. All right. Well, gentlemen, it's been a pleasure as always. Love sharing the laughs and the insights. If you guys are interested, we do want to have people on the show, so if you're interested in being part of the Mood Dude podcast, hit us up. We would love to have a discussion with either a fan or a mental health professional or just anyone who wants to be on the show. So we definitely want to have a community behind this podcast. So uh, with that being said, appreciate it, everybody. Thanks for spending some time with us, and we'll catch you on the next episode.
Stay moody.
All right, well, that's a wrap for today's episode of the Main Up Memphis podcast. Remember, real change starts when you show up, break cycles, and walk into something greater. If you felt inspired, do me 3 quick favors. Subscribe and leave a note or a 5-star review so that more people can find us. Share this episode with someone who might need a lift. And get involved. Volunteer, refer a youth, or donate at mainupmemphis.org. Follow us on our socials at mainupmemphis for behind-the-scenes goodness, and send your questions or success stories to us, and they might make it on air. Until next time, here at Main Up Memphis, leave the baggage, keep the change.